Alright, so plans for today. I'm about to head over to Grind Schools, help him weld in some door striker reinforcement panels. So, you dig the welder out, load that up, and head over there. And if you guys don't know what the door striker reinforcement panels are, they're these right here. You see how it bulges out a little bit. Probably could have body worked it a little bit more, but these often rust out or wear out from the door always closing, and just puts a lot of stress on this area. So the reinforcement plate is probably 1/8 inch, 1/4 inch thick maybe. Of course this side doesn't work. That little latch fell out both sides, so driver's side is good. But you see how this one's a lot smoother, so we'll be tackling that. This one surprisingly no wear on it. I know, I'll paint the jams when this thing gets repainted. And I get a bunch of people asking when I'm gonna paint the Elko. It's painted, it's just a single stage. I'm not with all the candy and high gloss and whatnot, more low profile, but it is gonna get repainted eventually. We'll go over some plans for some of the cars. So the Elko, the plans this winter, tuck the bumpers. I'm thinking deleting the bed trim and or the drip rails, so we'll see about that. The Blazer, it's my $14,000 mistake. I say that because it started leaking one day, and that's when I went out and bought the truck. Turns out it's only a $50, $60 fix, really 23, but I replaced both lines. So had a leaking transmission line, replaced that, and I still need to put the skid plates back on. So that's what I'm gonna do today before I head over there. So I think that it's actually right here, the floor mats and the skid plate there. So need to throw that on. I'll load it up in the Blazer instead of the truck this time and test it out, because I've really just taken around the block, but I need to put some miles on it, make sure those lines are working. The Camaro has been down. It's had a misfire, so it's either an injector or a coil pack. The coil pack coming, should be here in a couple days. Swap that out, hopefully fix that problem. The truck's the daily, so the truck's good. The bike needs tires, but this is where it's at. This is the next project slash build. It's a little dirty right now, but the PT, I know you guys seen it in the background. It's probably like, man, it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit in the scheme of cars, but the PT is the first car, so it's not going anywhere. I did have some videos. I never put them out. I did the 2.4 liter turbo swap. So it needs to be reprogrammed to work with the key and everything, but I'm scrapping that idea from the turbo swap, and I will be LS swapping the PT. I know people make the LS swap seem easy, which they're not too difficult, but with this one I'm gonna have to go a lot farther into it. So I'll give you guys a brief overview. I'm gonna try to do as much as I can. I know I have some support for some buddies. They said they're down to help out. So the plan for this is pretty much build a chassis for it. So I'd have to back half it and build a front half, or that's what you want to call it. So I know there's 2 rails running underneath the car. I'll reinforce those, and I'll use those to build the back half and the front off of it. It'll probably be a Mustang 2 front suspension, Ford 8.8 rear end, triangulated 4-link. Obviously, I'll have to get different wheels and tires, because the Mustang 2, I think it only comes in 5.5 and the 5 3/4. So the Chevy bolt pattern, which I'll just switch it over to Chevy for obvious reasons. Probably go 18s with it. I think the 17s look good, but a little step up wouldn't hurt. 18s, 19s. I think 20s might be a little too big on it, or I'd have to go really low profile tires. So that probably won't happen. But yeah, the 8.8. I think certain years I could find a 373 rear end posi with disc brakes from like an Explorer. So I'll be junkyard shopping. And this one will get a 6.0. I know I've been mentioning I want to complete the full Vortec/LS lineup. So at the 4.3 Vortec in here, the 4.8, the 5.3, 5.3 in the truck, and the 6.2 in the Camaro. So what's left? I need the 6.0 in the PT. So yeah, it's not going to be overnight. It's going to take a while. But that's the plan for the PT. So pretty soon I'm gonna start. I'll get a video of the motor running, pull that, sell the motor, start stripping the interior, taking some measurements, and start ordering parts. So I'll probably get it all stripped down, leave it out here for a while, and when it's ready, pull it into the garage, reinforce those frame connectors. That's what I'm gonna call them in this one, because that's eventually what they will be. Frame connectors underneath. Get some plates welded to the inner rocker, brace that up, and then make like a mini frame table, just because the floor is not level. So a mini frame table, set the body on there, and then I'll be able to work with the back half and the front section all at the same time. So that's the plans. I don't know if I move it over a little bit more, I might be able to just squeeze it in here. I actually might be able to. But nah, I want to be able to still have room in here. So once you see the Elko parked outside for a while, you know the PT will be in here getting cut up. So yeah, that's the plan for it. But yeah, it's the first car, aka the baby Bentley. So I know I might do a lot of fabrication, do a lot of learning. I've already been doing a lot of research on it. So we'll go from there. But yeah, it's, you either love them or hate them. I know there's a big following for them when they first came out. There were clubs and all that stuff. How I ended up in one is just around that Cash for Clunkers time. I'm looking for my first car at a lot, and this fell in the budget, which I love it. Like I said, it's the first car. It's not going anywhere, so it's time to drop a little bit of money into it, just a little bit. The budget for it, I probably have anywhere from 10 to 15 in it once all said and done with this build. So probably over the next 2.5 years, which hopefully it's not that long. And it might not be that much, but I'm planning on just the chassis alone with the back half and the Mustang 2 front suspension, all that. It'll probably be around 3 to 4 in that. Then the motor, transmission, fuel system, engine management system, and depending on if I can reuse the interior or not. So I have some plans. I won't give it all away, but that's the plan for this. Let me stop talking, get these skid plates put back on, and get the welder loaded up and head over to Ravi's. So the only thing is, like, this door shuts fine though, right? It's level?
It shuts fine, yeah.
Because then with this being welded on, there's not going to be any up and down or side to side adjustment. So this one has to go back on.
Exactly.
And another problem is this needs to be flat on here.
Yeah.
So we'd have to cut at least one, if not both those washers out to make this flat.
Okay.
So got like a cutoff wheel. Try to just cut. Because grinding it down would be too much.
Yeah, no, we gotta cut it.
But yeah, so cutoff wheel, just try to cut it flat or try to grind it out.
Cut these welds out.
You can try to do that too.
All right, I'll work on that.
He's got to pay attention to, there should be like a catch nut in the back of here though, which is
tough.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like it would be decent and easy because this is the same shape as this.
Yeah. So you kind of feel it's two different pieces. There's a piece back here that feels where that nut's on.
Okay.
So yeah, if we get these washers out, be able to put that flat, be able to reinforce this.
Okay.
We should be good. So yeah, I'm gonna take over his channel. I'm gonna do his style. I forgot my camera at home, so it's on the phone now. We'll get this cleaned up, welded on. You know, my rates go up the lower the temperature gets. I'm pretty sure he's shown all this before, so I think I could show it now. It's been on his channel already. The color scheme. But yeah, let's get these washers out and then we'll get to welding. All right, so we're going to improvise a little bit. We're going to cut the size of the washer out from here. So cut a circle out on the reinforcement plate because all this is welded into this bracket behind it. It has that catch nut. So we'll cut this out so it'll sit flat in here. You'll still reinforce it. We're just not going to have the
flexibility.
Yeah, so I'm going to cut that out. It's just not going to be able to move as much as it can to actually align the door down the road, but it is going to reinforce this from that flex. And even if it cuts out too much, I can still just fill it in with the MIG, weld all this up, and we'll call it good. Alright, so along this side, got pretty good. This top part, it started burning through, so that'll be filled in with metal filler, smooth out, you know, grind this flat. But I got 3 of the 4 sides, this back side. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, I need the camera. I can't do this phone stuff. The back side, a little tough to get to, so that'll probably be metal filled flat too. But 3 out of 4, this thing's not going anywhere. Just want to make sure that hole stayed true and didn't warp at all. But we should be good. How you feel about it?
Man, thank you so much, bro. Definitely getting a whole lot better, you know what I'm saying? And I can't complain, man. That looks good to me. Like, you know, you could shave it down, metal fill, whatever, make it look like nothing was ever put in there. So this allows me to keep moving now. So, you know.
Oh yeah, we're working on it. This next, or you just gonna fiberglass it?
So I fiberglassed that side that you see.
Okay, cleaned it up.
I cleaned it up. I fiberglassed that. I already treated it and everything.
Okay.
Got all that rust out. So I just gotta shape it up and then I can sand everything down and start spraying.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm pleased with it. I'm pleased with it, especially this side.
Yeah,
like I said, it's like
perfect.
a lot easier to get to. I think if the door was off and I had a little bit more room to work with, besides 2 feet maybe, be able to maneuver a little bit and it'd been a little bit better. But yeah, we definitely knocked some stuff out. I think I've done more welding on this than I did mine. And I had to do my rockers. But yeah, just I don't see any smoke, no flames. Not catching the car on fire this time. But I think we're good to go. Let it cool down a little bit. And I did put primer behind it. I know I need to invest in some of that weld through primer, but there's primer behind it on that bare metal, so it's not completely exposed. And we'll make some stuff happen, but let me load back up and get out of this man's way.
Hey, I appreciate it, bro, man. I appreciate it.
Anytime, man. You know, I'm 5-10 minutes away, so we're gonna get it right.
Oh,
we're gonna get it right.
Sure.
I need that other 6.0. Wait.
On the ground.
It's back there?
Yeah, it's behind the
Yeah.
weather.
So I just need the rear end then. Got the 6.0 for the PT. He said it, not me. We'll figure something out though. All right, so just getting back home from grind schools. Got the welding bottle out. I'll leave the welder and stuff in there. I don't know if I can get that out right now. But I don't know. I just don't feel comfortable leaving the bottle in the car overnight. So Blazer did good. I'm not seeing any leaks with the transmission fluid. So the lines, they're installed correctly. If you guys saw that short, I got dirty. All that transmission fluid up under the car with just the years of dirt and stuff sitting under the Can't even think of the rock or no, the roll pans or whatever the skid plates. There it goes. Yeah, all that dirt mixed with transmission fluid. It was a little messy under there, but the Blazer's doing good. Keep an eye on it. Might need a little bit more fluid, but we should be good there. But yeah, we got the door strikers all welded in. And I showed you guys mine. So I still have spacers or washers on the top part. So on top of the plate, where on his, we pretty much had to weld them in flush with it just because of how the previous installation was done. So we made it happen, called a little audible. So that's how they're supposed to look, but how we did it, I feel they should still work. So we're good there. But yeah, that's just a little brief update on all the toys. So all the toys, the upcoming project. Yes, the bike, like I mentioned, it needs some tires. So that's a major thing for that. Get some tires, probably oil change for next season, and we should be good to go. I mentioned before in a video, I was like, the Blazer's for sale, but it's not for sale. Kind of using that for a bargaining chip right now with the weather being like it is, snowing and everything. Kind of using it towards a bargaining chip. I'm looking at some baggers. It's like a Harley. Try to find a used one on Marketplace or something I could trade. If not, I'll end up keeping it. Might sell it, I don't know. Or give it to my niece. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, there's plenty of room for another bike. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm gonna call it a night, and it's getting cold. So head inside and grab something to eat.